Anodized Robocub. Um, I think this will be in the second highest bucket. So it'll probably be unpickable. Because it's really flexible. But HenchClan Hogsteed, like this was amazing back in the day, but HenchClan Hogsteed will just eat. So it's basically just a river crocolisk. Um, this is just bad 3-drop. We'll have to see how many beasts there are. This is always in a pretty low bucket. It's it's too expensive for the condition. It'll probably be in like the 6 bucket. Dark Whispers it's just too expensive for the what you get. Because 5 wisps isn't good. +5/+5 for 6 isn't good. Mech Bear Cat is really good. If this is not in the second to highest bucket, it is going to be like an auto pick. It doesn't do great against the Scribe, Eccentric Scribe, but like if it takes 2 hits, it's amazing. Hard removal does not exist for Druid, so this will be strong, and I don't think it gets that high bucketed, so it's a really good card for Druid. I would probably pick it like it was in the second bucket. Malorn is just a solidly statted minion. Real life is unpickable. Call Pet is bad. Feign Death is almost impossible to get value from. Clavezuka is amazing. It's probably top bucket material. If it's any lower, it's an auto pick. Steamweedle Sniper. I think this card is really, like, this card's amazing. The issue was that it was an epic, so, like, you just would never see it. But, having a 2 damage hero power that can hit minions is really good. Well costed. So if this is anything in the second bucket or lower, I think it'll be pickable. I think we'll see how many mechs there are. I don't think this will be pickable though. You need so many mechs to get value from this. Cobra Shot is just filler. King of Beasts is... The stats are way too bad. Gazrilla. I will have the twin spell. And it's okay. We'll just see where it's bucketed. It's a fun card. Flame Cannon is... Yeah, going on to Mage. Flame Cannon's really good. Like, Lackeys might make it a little worse. Back in the day, this was amazing, though. Because there's a decent amount of 5/4s, I think, that are going to be around. So it should be good. I loved No Chugger as the coolest Enter Cry. It's just... And it shuts down Warrior and Rogue pretty well. If this isn't... My concern is that it's going to be bucketed too high. Unstable Portal is... It's going to be great. Just imagine Unstable Portal and Conjurer's Calling. So you're going to cheat out a minion for 3 less and then get 2 of them. Unstable Portal will be good. You just have to hope that you get something that costs more than 3 mana, hopefully. Suits Viewer is just like, okay, nothing special. Echo Medivh is probably like it's one of the slowest cards in the game. So probably too slow to see play. I think Goblin Blast Mage, if this isn't in the top 2 buckets, I will auto pick it. I love playing Mech Mage. I will try to draft it as hard as I can. It is so much fun. This battle cry is insane. There are going to be a lot of mechs. AoE, Spellstopper, it's not statted very well. Statted like a 3-drop without a powerful effect, so not really playable. Flame Leviathan is one of the worst legendaries. It will kill your board. I hate it. Seal of Light is okay. It can be cheap removal. Probably like 4th bucket, so it might be pickable. Gilded Minibot is top bucket, so I don't think it's as good as True Silver, but it's gonna get bucketed with it. Foghammer might be bucketed 1 below that, which might make it pickable, but Coghammer is also absolutely insane. So is Muster for Battle. These 3 cards are all top bucket value, so if they get matched with anything else, you take this over them. Scarlet Purifier is well statted, and there's a lot of Death Rattle minions. So I probably won't be that high bucketed, but a good card to take. Bolvar is something you discover, usually. It's not great. Cobalt Guardian is just too poorly statted. But it might be okay in its bucket, because it should be super low bucketed. Quartermaster is usually solid. It's usually not that terrible to hit 2 recruits, and 2 recruits is like good value. It just depends where it's bucketed. I think it should be like 3 or lower. It'll probably be pretty hard to pick, to be honest. Of Light of the Naru is not great, so Shadow Bomber's terrible. Well, I mean, it's a 1-drop, so maybe it's pickable. Freakmeister is really good because it gives you a favorable trade. Felon's Chosen is strong. Just a lot of stats. And, like, the spell damage sometimes comes into play. The upgraded Repair Bot is usually pretty hard to get the battle cry off, from what I remember. There are usually other cards that you can play in this spot that will be better. But if you get it off, it's really nice. But it was really hard to get off back in the day. I'm actually missing a card because it's got nerfed, so I dusted it. The Shadow Boxer, it's a solid River Crocolisk. It'll probably be too highly bucketed to get value. Vol'jin is amazing. Like hard removal with a pile of stats. Like, well, you have to do 2 damage to something basically to kill it. But then you get a bunch of stats in return. Light Bomb. Priest is getting some removal. That'll be nice. Although they're going to be losing Dragonfire Potion. And this is basically going to replace Dragonfire Potion. But, like, Light Bomb is better in Priest because you create high health minions. So, do be careful. Spell damage does increase it. Goblin Auto Barber is almost auto pick. It's fair stats. With just a strict bonus of upping your attack. One Night Cheat is terrible. Hogmaster's Wrench will be amazing. It was super hard to pick because But we're gonna have 2 expansions with mechs in there. And there's also like Harvest Golem. Cogmaster's Wrench is going to wreck. It was an epic before, so you rarely got to pick it. But this card's amazing. This might be a sleeper. Iron Sensei is such a hard snowball card. I used to love it. It was really hard to pull off though. Sabotage it's a very solid card. Like just destroying a random enemy minion for 4 mana is okay. The lackeys might make it worse. But I used to pick, it was one of the better epics I remember back in the day as well. So I think it's solid. Oil kind of sucks in Arena for the most part. Comboing a card that costs 4 mana is really hard to do in Arena. And having a minion on board, and having a weapon. It's really hard to pull off. And people are... It was a crowd favorite before, so it might be too highly bucketed. Ogre Ninja is just really good. A pile of stats with stealth. Trade Prince Gallywix is pretty good. Just a pile of stats with an effect. It's always good. Crackle is busted. A lot of damage. Probably will be in the top 2 buckets, making it really hard to pick. Vitality Totem. Never be picked. Whirling Zap-O-Matic. I mean, it should mostly be just looked at as a 3-2. Because it just dies so easily. But it's pretty good. And if you can buff it, Power Mace is awesome. There will be a lot of mechs. So I think this will be a top tier card. It might not be... I doubt it'll be top bucketed. So I think Power Mace will be an auto pick. It's so good. There are going to be so many mechs. Ancestral Call is trash. We don't even need to look at it. Of the ogres that I don't like, this is like the only ogre I don't like. It doesn't have enough health to attack the wrong minion. And it overloads you. So yeah, this costs 5 mana. And it's terrible. What a terrible card. Oh, and Neptulian. Pretty bad. Overloads you a lot. Just gives you Murlocs. Dark Bomb will be really good. Mistress of Pain is really bad. Spell Cannon is good. Yeah, some people left. I'll get back to playing. I'm actually liking looking at this some. And I think I'm going fast enough. Being able to control Fell Cannon is really good. And it'll probably be in a low enough bucket that you can get a lot of value from it. Because it's at the end of your turn. So you can control it better. Implosion is amazing and broken. It's like... It was like the OG... It was like the OG Conjurer's Calling. Like, when this rolled 4, you would just win the game. Demon Heart is... It's hard to know. I don't think it's good enough. But it might be. The epics from back in the day are the hardest to judge because you got them so little. But it just looks too expensive for what it does. Floating Watcher, just too slow. Anima Golem, if it's bucketed low enough, it's kind of fun. But it's really hard to not lose all your minions. Melganis, pretty baller. The Warbot's just a 1/3. Warrior is probably gonna suck. We'll see. Bouncing Blade, pretty bad. It's basically only used if there's one big minion on board. But Ogre Wormhole sucks because like you never want this to attack face. Brujink Clunker is a decent card. This could get some value. Because giving a friendly minion +2/+2 is no joke. There's a lot of mech. Siege Engine is too expensive and too slow. Shield Maiden, like it's good and constructed, but this is just trash in Arena. It will not be playable. Crush is okay. But it'll probably be top bucketed, making it almost unplayable. Target Dummy is nothing. Clockwork Gnome is a really good card. This might be an auto pick, depending on where it is. The spare parts are not to be scoffed at. I think Cogmaster will be too hard to get going, to get the value from. Neotron should be solid. Like, I think Mech Synergy will be a big thing. Explosive Sheep is good in Mage, and I don't think any other class. Gilbin Stalker is really strong. Should be picked quite a bit unless it's going up against a mech. Mech Warper, like Mech Warper, Micro Machine. Mech Warper is better. I think Mech Synergy is gonna be so strong. We just got a random 3/2 Recombobulator. This was amazing back in the day, but they've introduced a lot of really crappy statted minions at every level. Because basically you would just use Recombobulator and basically consider it a heal on a minion. Like, heal it to full health and just give me a random new minion. I don't think this will be as good because there are so many crappy minions now. But it's still... it can be solid. Like, if you have like a 3/1 minion or something and you just want to get something else. Depending on where it's bucketed, I think it might be good. I think it will be maybe a higher skill cap card. Ship's Cannon, it's just a 2/3. Stone Splitter Trog is solid. Especially going first, because they have to coin. Flying Machine is one of the bad mechs. Gnomigan Infantry. That's terrible. Gnomish Experimenter. This is a good card. It cycles itself some of the time. And if not, like, it's... you can just think of it as like 50% chance to draw a 1/1. It depends how many spells are in your deck, but this card isn't terrible. Definitely better than you would think. Because it's really good when you draw a card and it draw a spell or a weapon. So might be a little sleeper. Goblin Sapper is okay. Its stats aren't great. But I don't know how many spider tanks there will be. I think it might be okay, though. Hobo Goblin sucks. Like, it's just terrible. Too hard to get value from it. Illuminator is just a 3-mana 2/3. This might be okay. I think there are more Death Rattle minions now. Maybe not. Oh, each enemy Death Rattle. Okay, no, it's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Ogre Brute and Spider Tank are the premium 3-drops. The OG Spider Tank is Spider Tank, and Ogre Brute kind of just wrecks Spider Tank, so they're both really good. I think there will be enough mechs to get value from Tinkertown Technician, also making it very strong. Arcane Nullifier, its stats are a little bit too weak, I think, to be good. Like, it's just really bad compared to Proud Defender. Oh, Burly Rockjaw Trog. If this thing isn't too highly bucketed, like, this thing shuts down spells. This card is really strong in Arena. It probably won't be that highly bucketed. Enhance O Mechanico. I think this is a good card. Hopefully it's not that highly bucketed. Man, can you imagine this with Token Druid? And it's not your other mechs, it's give your other minion. And it was just, but it's an epic and you just didn't get to see it that much, but it's really good. Oh yeah, Hobo Goblin might be good with lackeys. That's a good point. If you're playing an aggressive deck, Jeeves is really strong. Like, you can go so aggressive if you can get Jeeves. Like, you just play out your entire hand, you send every burn face. Take control of a random enemy secret. Having one of these in your decks, like, stealing a secret is so good. Like, it's so much better than destroying secrets. And in Arena, that you normally only have one secret at a time. So it's a solid tech card. And I think it's well enough statted that it's worth it to have one. Even though only 3 classes have secrets. This is just vanilla, not great. This is, it's a little better than Yeti because there will be, mech synergies to get value from. But it's basically a Yeti. Mini Mage is terrible. Basically unpickable. Highlighted Shredder, one of the best cards ever printed. Auto pick all day. Oh man, I never remember reading this. Once upon a time, only goblins piloted shredders. These days, everyone from Doomsayers to Lore Walker Cho seems to ride one. I'm not sure if it only said that. Killbot might be playable in Warlock and Rogue, but it's not well statted. Blingtron, not pretty poorly statted. The Bomb Lobber is, this is a really strong card. Might be a little harder to play with lackeys, but amazing. Fel Reaver, another amazing, strong, powerful card. You don't want to give your opponent too many coins, but it is an amazing card. There might be enough beasts to get value from him. It will probably be bucketed with some trash legendaries. Might be pickable. Junkbot is really slow. It was a lot of fun to get going the few games that I got it going though. Matter Bomber is good. It's a good card. Like, you can't play it when you have other minions on board, but it's good. Mimron is unplayable in Arena. Just a 5-mana 4/5. Like, Voltron isn't even that good because you're destroying all of the mechs you have on board for a 4/8. Salty Dog is playable, but it's not very good. Gazlowe, you get value, but it's pretty bad. Mogre the Ogre, it's good enough stats, and it can mess up your opponent. Good card. Highlighted Sky Golem is amazing. It was an auto pick back in the day. It'll probably be an auto pick here. It's really good. Ashley, One of the best 6-drops in the game. Very well statted, very good effect. Dr. Boom, best 7-drop of all time. Trogzor. So Scribe versus I think the Sky Golem is better. Because I think mech synergies will be big. And I think a 4-drop is pretty similar to 4/1/1s. So actually the Scribe Death Rattle is probably better. But this is a mech, and I think mech synergies will be very real and important. Man, just imagine getting this from Conjurer's Calling. Are you guys ready? Or it's gonna be disgusting. Trogzor is okay. It's understated, but generally your opponent will need to play a spell to get rid of it. Bow Reaper, I think, is really strong. If it sticks, you win. It's a good card. Force Tank Max. Just a big dude. Needle Shredder is a lot of fun, and it's a good legendary. It's a bad legendary. And Clockwork Giant is really difficult to play. Yeah, Force Tank Max is solid against the Fist. Not quite a counter. Okay. That was Goblins versus No. Oh my gosh, this is gonna take so long. On to the Grand Tournament. Starting with Druid. Living Roots, amazing card. Daenerys Aspirant, amazing card. Makes random 2-drops, not that amazing. Druid of the Saber is really good. Because at worst it's a 3/2 with stealth. Like, it's just a solid 2-drop. But yeah, Daenerys Aspirant is amazing. Like, you can silence it, and we'll have the 2-drop that can silence the minions, the Dalaran Librarian. You can play this and then silence it if it doesn't die. And you just get you ramp up, which will be strong. Mulch. Anything that's hard removal in Druid is good. So just looking at the cards I've seen so far, I think Druid might be in a good spot in Arena. Savage Combatant is amazing. Like, it's fairly statted, and when you hero power, your hero is 3 attack, so it'll just like dumpster the removal. Windwalker is really bad. Having a beast on the board isn't super easy. Giving it 3 health just isn't enough. Knight of the Wild looks like it might be okay, but it has to be in your hand, which makes it really bad. It might be okay with, like, the squirrels. Depends how common the acorn bearers are. But you would need a bunch of acorn bearers in order to even consider this, because it has to be in your hand to reduce cost. Brave Archer, it's just a 2/1. Bear Trap, this is a good secret. 2 mana, 3/3. Hard to play around. Very strong. King's Elec. Very, very, very... This is going to be top bucketed and probably unpickable. It's an amazing card. Lock and Load is unpickable. There aren't enough spells in Arena. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to all other minions. That's probably solid, but it's a legendary, so who cares? Um, Power Shot, nice removal. Just a tool. I feel like I missed a card. But Bear Trap is very good. Stable Master, this is probably good. It depends where it's bucketed. Man, these epics are so hard to judge. Because this was unplayable back in the day. But I think it'll be decent now. Just because epics were so rare to come by, you'd basically have to pass over the Gladiator Longbow to take her. But I think Stable Master is solid. Ram Wrangler. The OG RNG. There were a lot of bad beasts though. But man, when you get King Crush, it feels so good. It's really hard to pull off though. Yeah, he's bad. Like, even if you get the Battle Cry off. Man, it felt so good. And it'll depend on how many beasts there are. It might be okay, because, like... Like, if you average, like, a 3-3, it's okay. But when you high roll, you can just win on the spot. Ball of Spiders is... It's like refill. It's pretty underwhelming, though. Arcane Blast is okay. Solid removal. It's cheap. It might be too highly bucketed. Fallen Hero is really good. Making it so your hero power can kill the 3/2s is good. Effigy isn't great, but the fact it's around means you'll have to play around it. But Polymorph Boar. This is an amazing card. It can make it so you can trade in the minions. It can make it so you get rid of death rattles. It's so strong. I would even consider saying it's better than Polymorph because of its flexibility. Really strong. Spellslinger, just look at it like a spider tank for the most part. This is just a 4-mana 3/5. The spell damage rarely comes into play. There just aren't enough spells. Flame Lance is really strong removal. Just single target, kill a minion. Kadar Drake is too expensive. Too slow. Ronin is okay, though. Like, it's okay stats, and the 3 Arcane Missiles is good. It might be a little slow, though. Competitive Spirit is okay. It depends where it's bucketed. It might be bucketed too high, though. Actually, no, this is bad. It's bad. Argent Lance is good. It's just a cheap weapon that can sometimes be a good weapon. Seal of Champions is amazing. You buff a minion and you get a free trade. This is pretty bad. The 3-mana 2/4, you need a really strong effect. Murloc Knight. I still have my... It depends on the Murlocs in the pool. But it's really good. It makes your hero power, like, on average, really good. It was one of my favorite cards. Tuskar Jouster is okay. Solid stats with an okay effect. Enter the Colosseum is pretty bad. Mysterious Challenger should be unpickable because, like, without Avenge, Secret Paladin secrets are bad. So that makes Mysterious Challenger bad. Edric the Pure is a pretty bad legendary. Oh yeah, I'll let you guys actually see what he does though. He's a 7-mana 3/7, change all enemy minions to 1. Priest cards don't look great. Flash Heal, unplayable. Power Word Glory is okay, you can put it on an opposing minion and heal you, but it's more of something you discover. Confuse is good, I think. Used to never see it because it was an epic, but I think it's a really good card. It might be a higher skill cap card, but I think it's really good. Convert, terrible. A Wormrest Agent, probably unplayable. Until we get Blackrock in, I don't think there's enough dragons to be drafting. Shadow Fiend, the 3-mana 3/3. It's playable, but it's probably going to be too highly bucketed. If it's in a low bucket, it's good. Holy Champion is solid, like with a okay effect. Probably the best card in this bucket. It's good, in this for this hero. Confessor Piltress is also okay. Legendaries tend to suck though, but I mean it's a win condition, so it just depends what it's bucketed with. And these cards will all be in Arena next Monday. Spawn of Shadows, pretty bad. It is Reach for Priest, which is something that Priest can really struggle with, and it's okay statted. Buccaneer is good. Cut Purse, I don't think it'll be good. Yeah. Like, it was so good if you could get the coin, but I don't think that's good enough. Undercity Valiant. Yeah, the 1-cost Pirate is good. The Undercity Valiant is... This is a good card. Because, I mean, at worst, it's just a 3/2. Beneath the Grounds is too slow. For the most part. It might be in a bucket where it's pickable, but it was never pickable as an epic. Because, I mean, compare this to Eldori Strider. It's like you pay 1 more mana and you get a 4/4. That made the card insane, but I mean, 1 mana 4/4 is insane. Burgle's bad. Shady Dealer is okay statted. Poison Blade is terrible. But Shadow Pan Rider. This is a good card. It's like it's like coining out you can coin out a Boulder Fist Ogre on 4. It's really strong. Nubarak, I like it. It's a win condition. It's like it's super hard to kill. Like you kill it and then you get a 4/4 and then you just play it the next turn. It's really good. It might struggle against Priest if they have enough silence, but this is a good card. I like a Nubarak. It was one of my favorites back in the day. Ancestral Knowledge is solid. 2-mana draw 2. It's more of a late game refill card, but it's really good. Totem Golem, overpowered. Elemental Destruction, I think it's a solid card. Like it's just like a panic button, but you get to develop that turn instead of the next turn. So I think it's really strong. Healing Wave is bad. Tuskar Totemic is bad. It used to be a random totem. Now that it's a random basic totem, it's unplayable. Charged Hammer. It's really slow. It would have to be pretty low for it to be pickable in a pretty low bucket. I think this is actually an okay card. It's not that hard to have a totem on board on turn 4. A lot of the time. And if you do have totems, this thing is insane. Now, Thunder Bluff Valiant. This card is amazing. It's okay statted. Although there's going to be a lot of 4 mana 3/6s. But it's okay statted. And you can just, if it doesn't die, the totems are like actual minions. So it's like hero power, play a 2-drop. And if you have more totems, it just goes insane. And Mistcaller is just a good card. It's like it's the OG Kaliseth. Demon Fuse is unplayable. Tiny Knight of Evil, just a 2 mana 3/2. Wraithguard is okay. I think it's an okay card. It's overstated, and you take as much damage as a Flame Imp most of the time. You can take extra damage. So late game, this can be a liability, but early game, I think it's fine. Dreadsteed. Back in the day, it was fine. I think with the change, it's not good enough to be played. Fist of Jaraxxus isn't draftable. Dark Bargain is okay. Like, destroying 2 enemy minions is super powerful, no matter what the cost. Void Crusher is pretty bad because it can destroy itself. Wilfred Fizzlebang is too slow. It's really bad. Fearsome Doomguard is just a big dude. It's okay. Alexstrasza's Champion, I think it'll be too hard to have dragons, just making it a 2/3. So that's all it should be considered. Bolster is really bad. You don't want that many taunt minions. But Sparring Partner is a good card. Because you can give a minion hiding taunt. Like if there's a minion hiding behind taunt you need to kill, you can give it taunt. It doesn't have to be a friendly minion you're giving taunt. So Sparring Partner is a good card. Bash is okay removal. It's not great. King's Defender is just a strictly better Fiery War Axe. I just look at this as a 3 mana 3/3. And this is basically a 5 mana 5/3, which makes it unplayable. Or 4 mana 5/3. It's pretty much unplayable. Sea Reaver is okay. The worst Boulder Fist Ogre. Varian is amazing. I like it. It's okay. But yeah, I crafted a golden one on day 1, so I like it. Gadgetzan Jouster. I think it should be drafted some. It's a 50-50. You are super far ahead if you win the joust. That's bad. Lowly Squire's okay. Tournament Attendee, bad. Argent Watchman, bad. Boneguard Lieutenant is good. In that it is strictly better than the 2 mana 3/2s. Flame Juggler is good. One of the best 2 mana 2/3s. Garrison Commander, not as good. Lance Carrier. So note it's basically an Argent Squire, but the +2 attack is permanent. That should be noted, but its stats are too bad. Argent Horse Rider is really good. It is charge and divine shield. Just really strong. Being able to trade that turn. Coliseum Manager is very okay. It like, most of the time you don't want a hero power after you play it, but a lot of the time it's not that big of a deal. And it's decent stats. Dragonhawk Rider is okay. You have to protect it to get the value. It's a 3-mana 3/3. The vast majority of the time. The Bane Sisters are spider tanks. You're not going to get the value from them. Fencing Coach is pretty bad. It's playable though. Ice Rager is kind of the same boat. They're both playable, but they're not great. Yeah, a lot of these cards, you're not going to get value from the Battle Cry very much. Like Master of Ceremonies, you're not going to have a minion with spell damage, and even then, it's really hard to pull off. Saboteur can be good. You can like make it so your hero power your opponent can't hero power the next turn. Silent Knight is strong in any classes with a buff. It's pretty solid on its own. But in anything where you can set it up to have a buff and then trade, it can be good. Silverhand Recruit is probably one of the best 3-mana 3/3s in that it can snowball. It basically makes your hero power twice as powerful. Armored Warhorse is a really fun card. And you can like use it for lethal. I think it might be underrated. I think it'll be okay. It's not that good though. Crowd favorite is a lot of minions in Arena have Battle Cry. Either Battle Cry or a pile of stats. So crowd favorite might be okay. It's a little hard to get going, but a lot of minions have Battle Cry in Arena. Evil Heckler. It's just okay. Has some nice voice lines. Frigid Snowball, terrible. Gormok the Impaler is pretty good. And especially with the lackeys, it won't be that hard to have 4 minions on board. And the Battle Cry is pretty sick. And it looks awesome. You just like stick this pole in them. Just jam it in them. Maiden of the Lake is pretty bad. It's not statted well enough. Refreshment Vendor, I think it's good in Warlock and Rogue, but not really any other class. Classes that you're using your life as a resource, it's good. Outside of that, it's not. Similar with Tournament Medic, except Tournament Medic is even worse. Twilight Guardian, I don't think there are enough dragons for it to be good. Clockwork Knight is okay. I think Mech Synergy will be very real, making Clockwork Knight solid. This is a very powerful win more card. Kavari Raider. People will complain about this card so much. Inspire is really strong in Arena because basically your opponent gets the board and then it's just like Arena is snowbally and Inspire is just like snowball on steroids. Same with Mookless Champion. This is really good in Shaman and Paladin. Not the other classes as much. But in those classes, I think Mookless Champion is really strong. Nexus Champion Sarad. It's just so much value every time you hero power. Pit Fighter. Solid 5-drop. The OG. 5-mana 5/6. Recruiter is slow, but gains value. Probably pretty low bucket. Wolf is really bad. Just a bad card. Grand Crusader is a solid card. It doesn't hurt you that much with the stat line, and it gives you a Paladin card, which isn't a joke. Duskar Trueheart is too slow to run in Arena. It'll probably be bucketed too high just because of how strong she was in Standard. Hodo Rider is a win condition for any class. It's really good. Highly recommend it. Master Jouster. If you win the joust, you almost win the game. But I think it's a below average 6 drop. But it's, man, when you get Taunt and Divine Shield, that thing is insane. Mogar's Champion is terrible. Sideshow Spell Eater is terrible. The Skeleton Knight is really fun, but also really bad. Captured Joromonger. It's a Furious Etten without Taunt. It is a beast. But I think Burley will just eat it up, making it bad. Choma. I don't think dragons will be around. I normally stream 2 to 9 p.m. Central. Cake or death. Sky Captain is pretty bad. Ice Howl is good. Like, this is, it's better than Burley. It is strictly better than Burley. And because we're going to be able to randomly get this from Conjurer's Calling, and oh, it won't be able to go face. It's not strictly better than Burley, because it can never attack face, but on the turn you play it, it's better. What I just said was wrong. But I think, like, it's a good card. It should be basically considered Burley, but better. Yeah, Burley can eventually go face. This has to get silenced in order to go face. But it's really strong. North Sea Kraken. I think it's on the same power level as Burley. It will be interesting to see how the battle between Burley and North Sea Kraken goes out, but I think it's on the same power level. And I don't think Frost Giant is playable. So now I'll look into Karazhan. I don't know if I want to look into the Boomstay. Okay, so here's Karazhan, Enchanted Raven. This is a good one drop. Menagerie Warden. It depends on how many beasts there are. I haven't done all the research. But when it hits, it's a powerful effect, but it's usually pretty hard to pull off, so it probably shouldn't be drafted. Moonglade Portal is solid. It's a solid card. Like, and you can use it on a minion even. Like a random 6-drop for 6 with the effect, depends on how highly bucketed it is, but it's an okay card. Cat Trick is good. Kindly Grandmother is good. Cloaked Huntress is good. These are all really strong cards. Yeah, they're all really good. Babbling Book is okay. Medivh's Valet, you're not gonna have a secret. Firelands Portal is probably gonna be the best mage card in Arena. Like, this might be better than Conjurer's Calling. I think I pick it over Conjurer's Calling. It is so good. It's a discussion, but I think it might be better. I take that back. But it's close. You're not going to be holding dragons. That's really bad. Silvermoon Portal is okay. Because it'll probably be lower bucketed, making it actually pickable, because it's really hard to pick Blessing of Kings. So I think Silvermoon Portal will be decent. Ivory Knight is okay. I'll have to look at all the spells that are in it, but it's a solid, it's a good card. It's a control card, though, first and foremost. Terrify is bad. Priest of the Feast is solid. Okay stats. Kills your hero. It probably won't be that good, though. Onyx Bishop is okay. If you can play around it and not have 1-drops played yet, I think it'll be solid. As long as you get something okay from it, I think it's a good card. Crush Burglar is strong. Really good. Deadly Fork is very solid in her. You'd be surprised. But it's pretty good. It's not probably like slightly lower than Messenger Raven, but it's a good card. Ethereal Peddler. This is also a good card. It shouldn't be that hard to get cards from another class. And it's well statted. Maelstrom Portal is super strong. Spirit Claws is bad. Wicked Witch Doctor is terrible. Alcazar's Imp is a 1-mana 1/3. You should just look at it like that. This is a 3-mana 3/3. Kara Kazam is a solid 5-cost card. It's good enough stats. There's really no cards that synergize with it, though. But it's okay. Protect the King is pretty bad. Fool's Bane is solid in Arena, but really hard to get the value, and Ironforge Portal just isn't enough. Arcane Anomaly is bad. Runic Egg is bad. Netherspite Historian? It depends how many dragons there are. They're probably like... I liked Netherspite Historian when Blackrock Mountain was in Arena, but Blackrock Mountain will not be in Arena, making it super hard to have a dragon. So I don't think this will be pickable. But whenever you're discovering a dragon, it's good. It's really strong. Because there are so many legendary dragons. Pompous Thespian is basically just a 3/2 or 2. Moros is a pretty strong card. It's pretty hard to interact with early game. And its effect just keeps going. It's really strong. Panther Spider is not good. Violet Illusionist is a solid card. It's statted enough, and in the classes it matters, it can be nice. Yeah, the stuff like Murlocs and Dragons are really hard to have on the board, making Zubat kind of difficult. Arcanosmith is surprisingly okay, not great. Burns, this will almost always just be a 1/1. This is just a 5-mana 3/6. Menagerie Magician is interesting, whereas because if it hits 1 minion, it's okay. And if it hits 2 minions, it's amazing. So it can be deck dependent. It's still not that good, but it's a lot more interesting than Zubat, I think. Prince Malkazar is super fun. I recommend drafting him at least once. It's just fun. There won't be enough dragons for Bookworm to be relevant. Moat Lurker will be relevant, I think. It is... With Dalaran Librarian, Moat Lurker, I think, is insane. Or, yeah. Or the Evolve Lackey. Like, Moat Lurker is going to be super strong in specific classes. If, like, in Priest with Silence and the Lackeys, I don't think evolving it will be very easy. But there is mutate, but this is a strong, powerful, like the ability is super strong, and if you can get rid of the death rattle, it's amazing. And I think there will be enough combos for it. Curator is solid. Like, it's not super difficult to get one dragon. The taunt can help protect you, and Beast isn't hard at all to get. Having a Murloc might be a little difficult. Medivh is solid. It's okay stats, and if you have any spells, it makes your spells amazing. It's super hard to have enough spells to make Arcane Giant playable. And yeah, that's it for all of the cards from not this last year that will be going into Arena. So hopefully that was educational for some of you.